Hello, good evening. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. Okay, can you hear me, everyone? Good evening. Oh, good. Hi, Vicky. So let's see who we've got here in the chat. Thanks for waiting. Craig, good evening. Sammy Merrick, Searching Tea. Grainy, Vicky Campbell, Jocelyn. Who else do we have? Karina, good evening. Craig Spiritual. Yeah, I think I said hello, didn't I? Barbara, hello, darling. Um, who else do we have here this evening? Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a quick look at the chat, and we will be feeling, and many of us will be feeling quite emotional at the moment due to this full moon lunar eclipse because it's twofold. It's not only a lunar eclipse, which urges us to go within, it's also in the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, and it's a very emotional sign. If we have anyone on this evening who is a Cancer, I'm sure you'll agree that you know, Cancer people are people that go very, very deep emotionally, very sensitive to their own feelings and to those of others. And Douglas, good evening. Andrea, good evening. Michelle, Bailey Bones, good evening. Everyone's tetchy in your house, yeah. I've not been able to see. Can you see? Have you managed to see the eclipse at all? It's only a very subtle eclipse apparently this time round, so but the moon should appear a little darker. Very very emotional. Are you Cancer then, Grainy? Um or Amethyst, if your moon is in Cancer, then you will feel this even stronger. And I mean, your moon in your chart rules your emotions, so it's a perfect placement for Cancer. Moon in Cancer, but it will give you very deep emotions. And Grainy is Cancer. Yeah, I've noticed you've got a very caring way about you, Grainy, so it's no surprise. Um, yeah, it might be your internet, Karina. Just refresh the page if you can. Um, Sarah Drinkwater, good evening. So yeah, very, very powerful energy this evening for us and over the weekend as well. Um, with this full moon this evening. Um, is that me, Jocelyn, you're referring to? Because I know there are a few Sarahs on here, but my day's been pretty busy, really, as always. I suppose everyone else's has. But thanks for asking, darling. How about you? Patrick Present, hello. I think this is your first time on my live. If it is, good evening and welcome. And whilst before we start, can I just say for the moderators. Hi, Tiger Dragon. If can you not put to like, subscribe, and share? And the only reason I ask this is because I'm not sure if it conflicts with super chat rules. Okay, I'm not quite sure, and so just in case, if you can leave that out, if that's to the moderators, and, oh, well, and then if everyone else really, but for the moderators, if you can just possibly promote the link to the donation tip jar and the website, that will be fantastic. So yeah, just in case anyway. Rolling with the punches. That's right, Jocelyn. Certainly is very strong today. Um, but it's a great energy in the sense of digging deep, releasing what doesn't serve you, and even releasing patterns from possibly previous lives, from that we've carried with us from our ancestors. Um, we can maybe look at that tonight, if there are any patterns, or if there is anything you need to release from a past life, because it does travel with us. And sometimes certain patterns of behavior and fault, um, doesn't really make sense to us, and that is because it's from a previous life. So, but we need to sometimes examine unusual patterns that aren't making sense, or certain issues, and why do we do certain things? Why do we behave in a certain way? Why are we insecure? Why sometimes it's hard to understand, and often that is because it's traveled with us from a previous life. So we could take a quick look at that with the tarot for anyone who would like to do that. But to start with, I'm going to begin with my lovely new Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. There is a walkthrough of this deck on my channel. So if you'd like to take a better look at these cards, then you could always do that after the so yeah, Vicky Campbell, please don't ask people to like and subscribe, because that's one of the new rules of this particular live, is I'm not sure if it conflicts with anything. So I know you were trying to help, but it's best if you don't, my darling, put those. But of course, yeah, it's beautiful. But for my moderators to promote the donation tip jar and the website is fantastic. No problem there. That's okay, Vicky. Okay. Honestly, Vicky Campbell, that's fine. It hasn't been shown anyway. One of my moderators have hidden it, thankfully. So yeah, because that's not what we want to promote now. So okay, so I'm going to start with this deck. That's a ticket, Tiger. I'm going to start with this deck, and I'm going to draw 3 cards to start us off. And I'm just going to read a little excerpt from the book, because this is a new deck. And I have tuned in with it today, but I've not had long enough to really kind of my pendant tonight. It's like a silver leaf with gold on it. It's got kind of gold inflections. It's one of my favourites actually, Barbara. So well spotted. Yeah, I really like this particular one. So yeah, I'm just going to read you a little excerpt from the book for these, as they are new. So which do you feel drawn to? 1, 2, or 3 this evening? This is for this evening's full moon. Dear universe, please send your messages through to us this evening. What would you like this wonderful community to know, please, during this full moon lunar eclipse? And remember, this is a wolf moon, and a wolf moon is named in that way because of hunger, because of lack. So there may be something that you, thank you, Barbara, that you are lacking right now. We could also look at that through the cards, actually, as it is the full wolf moon. It's named that way because wolves would howl during this time due to hunger, or lack of food. So we could also look at that. So 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so card 1, realization, and that's the waxing crescent. Okay, I'll show you. Realization is card 1. You can see yourself standing there. You are peering through what appears to be a very large keyhole. You're waking up to something, or perhaps realizing something about someone. Certain things may have been hidden from you, but your eyes are opening. Let's have a look at your message in the book. Realization. Okay, very short. It has an affirmation as well. I won't read out the whole meaning, but they have little short meanings and an affirmation, which I think is quite nice. So for card 1, with self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is important. So it's all about self-awareness. And your affirmation is, wow, these words are so small. I have, my goodness. Okay, I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realization. So that is the affirmation for card 1. Let's have a look at card 2 for you. It's all about self-awareness, waking up, smelling the coffee. Maybe you're already realizing something anyway about your life or about someone around you. Perhaps information has come to light that's opened your eyes, and you're starting to see things from a new perspective. Or maybe maybe it could be that there's a need for you to tune into the information around you. Maybe you're kind of ignoring certain things. Perhaps it's about becoming more aware of what's going on. So card 2 is resistance, and we have the the waning crescent. Such small writing. the waning crescent moon. Okay. Resistance, as you can see here, we have a fist holding on to what appears to be a lot of weeds, plants, growth, and refusing to let go. They've put down roots here to the point of that, so resisting heavily. Let's have a look at your message for card number 2, those of you drawn to that card, and see what your affirmation is as well. Okay, so familiarize yourself with how resistance manifests for you. The overt and the covert. If you continue to have doors slammed in your face, turn around. There will normally be an open door. Procrastination is just another kind of fear. Move forward with confidence and persistence. And your affirmation is, I flow through resistance and I am in control. So it's letting go, really. And going with the flow, trying not to resist the changes that you need to make. Try not to resist the obvious, even if, as the book said, you have had doors slammed in your face. It's also urging you to stand up and be strong. And card 3, we have the waning crescent. Okay, so this is to do with the waning moon as it gets smaller, the time when it gets smaller. And we're talking about protection here. I do really like this card, as I said in my walkthrough, of the mummy bird And here you are wrapped up, in the fetal position. Is that what you're feeling at the moment? Are you feeling like that? What I'm sensing here actually is this really is quite poignant this evening during the Cancer full moon, because it's all about nurture. It's all about self-healing, self-love. So some of you may be feeling this way, that you need a bit of TLC, or maybe there is someone around you that needs that. Are you being mummy bird at the moment? Let's have a look at your message in the book and your affirmation. Okay, so your higher power, however you describe this, is a loving and protective energy. You are loved and protected. Identify your fears. You can protect yourself better. Trust in yourself. And the affirmation is, I am loved and protected, which I think is a really lovely one. I do really like that card. So, yeah, it's about feeling nurtured, nurturing yourself or nurturing others, or allowing others to nurture you. Okay, so beautiful card there. Those away for a moment. Okay, so for anyone who's just joined me, welcome. I've just, you can always replay to see the free cards that I drew tonight, from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. They are such lovely cards. So would you like me to look at what you need to let go of from a previous life, or maybe something that you've carried with you from from your ancestors, unexplained patterns of behavior, unexplained ways of being, perhaps we can look at that for you just for a short while. I'll see if I'll do as many people as I can. I'll just draw the one card and then we go on to questions. So what do we need to let go of, please? The angels and spirit guides. What does this wonderful community need to let go of from previous lives? And we have looked at previous lives and it was a wonderful evening. So it'd be nice now to see kind of what we've brought with us and what needs to go. I mean, obviously there will be things as well that are good that we've brought from our ancestry, skills and talents, etc. But let's have a look for you. Okay, so Michelle Barnes, I'm going to go straight to you. King of Pentacles. Well, the King of Pentacles relates to hard work. It's a card of finance, of growth, okay? And the King of Pentacles, in general, is someone who can be a bit of a workaholic, or someone who is doesn't allow themselves to rest or take time off. Now, Michelle, do you find yourself constantly busy, constantly worrying about money and finance? Because that's what I'm getting. You need to let go of, my love. That is for Michelle Barnes. For Vicky Campbell now. Just going to come to the person I see first. Oh, good evening, Denise Grove. So this is for... Hello, Mandy D. I think you're new here. If so, big welcome to you. So this is for Vicky. Empress. Well, the Empress is all about... let's put this... Just focus this card a bit better. Yeah. The Empress is all about love. It's related to Venus, the planet Venus. So it's a wonderful card in terms of love, in terms of nurture. Okay. Now, what I'm sensing here with you, Vicky, is that you have brought with you this, you have a great ability to nurture, But at times I feel you neglect your own needs because what you've brought with you is a pattern of overprotecting, over nurturing, And sometimes as mums, we can be that way. Now, I don't know if you're a mum, but regardless of whether you are or not, um, then I feel this Empress card is saying, you know, maybe step back a bit. Try not to overprotect. If you find that's what's happening in your life at all, as you go through life, try not to overprotect, is what the cards are saying there. Okay, so let's go back and see. You're welcome, Michelle. Anyone else? Good evening, Sarah Drinkwater. Full of cold, darling. Sending you blessings, my love. It's that time of year, isn't it? Andrea, a card for you, my love, for what you need to let go of from your past life now, or your ancestry. What have you carried over and what do you need to let go of? Oh, Andrea, it flew out of the deck, Now, the Tower relates to trauma. It relates to sometimes to fear. So that's what I'm sensing as I tune into this. I have a feeling. Oh, Andrea, no, don't worry. What this means in terms of this question is, from how I see it and how I feel it, is that the Tower card is saying that in this life now you may find yourself living in a sort of perpetual state of fearing that things will go wrong. Let me know if that's the case, Andrea, because that's what I'm sensing with you. So there's a need to let go of this pattern of fault with you rather than behavior, where you fear that, things are not going to work out or things are going to go wrong, dreadfully wrong even. So if you find yourself doing that, if you find yourself having insecurities in that way, fears in that way, this is what I feel you've brought over and need to let go of, Andrea. So it's not about now, it's about the past. Of course, we will have all had these things happen to us in our past lives, but it's something you've brought. It is a pattern of, things went that. It seems to be a pattern of it. Yeah, things have went that way this well. No, see, it's also your projection of it. You see what I mean? That's what we're looking at now. So you're bringing that perspective. You've brought that perspective with you because of certain things that have happened. You've kind of got this fear, I feel, of things going dreadfully wrong. So it's about working on that fear and realizing that, you know, um, we have the good with the bad, if you see what I mean. So getting a more balanced perspective on life. Yeah. So Amethyst, this is for you, darling. What time is it over there? What time is it over there, Amethyst? Okay, this is for you, my love. Okay, Five of Swords for you, Amethyst. Now, as you can see with this card, this is about battle. This is about 7:35 a.m. Good morning. This is about battle. This is about challenge, okay? And what I feel you've brought with you here is how do you find your how do you feel with regard to confronting people? Do you find yourself appeasing people, placating people? I feel you have brought this kind of sense of, I feel a bit of a people pleaser coming through here. I'm sensing that in your past life there was this person here that you dealt with that was in your past life who was rather intimidating, and so now you would prefer to have peace rather than stand up and speak up for yourself, you know? That's for you, Amethyst. So there's a need to let go of this fear of confrontation, because what we're talking about fears really in many respects. Oh, you don't like to back down. So I could have got that the wrong way round then. Maybe we're talking about then the need for you to, perhaps this is the complete opposite. Because it could go two ways. It could have been with the Five of Swords that this is someone who you are someone who is very perhaps over confrontational. So maybe I tend to go toward, I try to err toward the positive, but you know we bring things with us, don't we? So maybe there's a need for you, Amethyst, to be a bit less confrontational, perhaps. Yeah. So I'm going to come to Barbara Halliday now. Barbara, you've got the King of Pentacles. Someone else got that earlier. So the King of Pentacles, as I said, okay, Amethyst. The King of Pentacles, you may have been a very, you could have been in a past life, you could have been a soldier or something like that. Someone who's had to, or, or even, yeah, someone who would have been in a position in that way. So that's why you've kind of brought that energy with you, or that pattern of behavior with you, you see. And we did look at one night, we did look at past lives. And what I might do in the future is look at your past life and other things along with it next time. So King of Pentacles. Okay, so Barbara, money, security, and fear of lack is what I'm getting here, my darling. Fear of lack, okay, that you've brought with you. And I feel security, especially, is at the back of your mind, and this can sometimes. Hi, Barbara Evans. Welcome, darling. I'm just looking at. I did do a card choice earlier. You can always look at that later on if you want, and anyone else that's joined. But I'm now looking at what we need to let go of that we've carried with us from a past life because of the full moon this evening. So Barbara Halliday now, King of Pentacles. There is a fear of lack, my darling, a fear of this insecurity that you've carried with you, and that's kind of what you need to look at here. Look at this underlying fear that you have that maybe suddenly you won't have money for food, you won't have money for your bills. We all worry about that to a certain extent, but the King of Pentacles energy is such that the whole of their focus can be on it. Not that I'm saying that is the case for you, but I'm just sensing that you've brought that with you from a previous life, this fear of lack. So there's a need to sort of just to work on that and realize that that was your past life, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen now. And that's what we're looking at, really. So who else do we have? Hi, Rubia Tinctoria. This is for you, my love. Just looking at what you should let go of, what you've brought with you from a previous life. Okay, so that is for Rubia. Ace of Swords. Okay, so the Ace of Swords is all about new beginnings, but often it relates to fear of new beginnings. So I feel that's what you've brought over with you from your previous life, my dear. Let me check your name again. Where have you gone? Rubia. Yeah, what a lovely name. Rubia. This is to do with challenge, but challenge with regard to new starts and new beginnings. All right. So you could have a fear around taking risks. That's what I'm getting here for you, Rubia. I need to look at this fear you may have around taking risks and the need to adjust that, because I don't mean go out there and take unnecessary risks, but sometimes we've just got to take a chance on life, and that's what the Ace of Swords is all about. So that's what I feel for you, my love. Okay, Tiger Dragon for you, my dear. What does Tiger Dragon need to let go of? Hi, Denise Grove. The World card. Lovely card. Now, what I'm picking up straight away here, Tiger, is that I feel your world was quite, how can I say? I'm sensing you've come from, in your previous life now, I feel you've come from a past life that was restricted in some way. Now, I'm not sure how. It could have been in a nice way. It could be that you were wrapped up in cotton wool. Actually, I'm getting that a bit. A touch of cotton wool here, if you know what I mean, Tiger. And the World card is urging you to let go of fears of stepping out of your comfort zone, that comfort bubble that you were in previously. It's nice when we're in a comfort bubble, but it can prevent us from stepping out into the world. So if you feel as if you hold yourself back, Tiger, I feel that's connected with this past life that you had. Okay, so they're asking you to let go of those any fears surrounding stepping out into the world. Hi, honey bunny. Barbara Evans, this is for you, my love. What does Barbara Evans need to let go of? I won't be able to come to everyone this evening with this, but I'm just going to do as many as I can. Then we'll go on to questions. So this is for Barbara Evans. What does Barbara Evans need to let go of from a previous life, please? Temperance card. Okay, so the Temperance card, let's just bring it up closer here, is all about balance. Trying to adjust it with the... That's it, lovely. All about balance, peace, and harmony. Now, because this card has come out, I feel in your previous life, things were quite topsy turvy. Life was quite a roller coaster for you. And right now, I'm sensing with you, let me know if you agree, that at times you have a need for perfection. Okay. Possibly with regard to yourself or your environment. I'm sensing a need for perfection, Barbara Evans. Do you see what I mean? In this life now, not always, but at times. And so they're urging you here to focus on like the middle ground, and allowing yourself compassion to make the odd mistake, and realize that you're only human. The Temperance card is about being kind to others, but kind to yourself. And we're talking about yourself here. So I do sense this need for perfection. There is a need to temper it. Do you see what I mean? In this life. It's for Barbara Evans. Oh, and OCD. Okay, right. So, yes, that's what they're asking you to do. Just to temper this need for perfection, Barbara Evans, Oh, I've just read your comment, Barbara. That's nice. I'm so pleased. Your cards were saying you were going to meet a lot of new friends. So, no surprise to me. I saw this coming. Yeah, Barbara Evans, be kind to yourself, as Sammy is saying. You're okay. You're welcome, Rubia. So this is for the lovely Craig now. Craig Spiritual. Justice card. Okay, what I'm sensing here is this card relates to Libra and fairness. And I feel that life really wasn't fair in your previous life, Craig, and that now you are kind of perhaps a little obsessed with fairness. Do you find yourself a little obsessed with fairness, Craig? You're constantly in fear of upsetting one against the other. So this constant um, to in and fro in between um, what's right. You know how a Libra would behave, not wanting to upset someone, obsessed with getting the balance right, obsessed with making a right decision. So I feel that, this imbalance that had occurred in your previous life has resulted in you um, having a fear of things working out unbalanced, unfair. And so it's about letting go of this need for complete balance all the time, because as fair as you are, and as good as it is to be fair, sometimes things will be a little out of sync. Sometimes someone will need to be there will need to be sacrifice on one side of the coin. Some Not everything can be in complete balance, in complete harmony, you see. So that's what I'm sensing here, this need to relax a little bit and realize that sometimes you've just got to say, well, okay, I've done my best. I've weighed things up, and this is the best outcome I can come to, even if it means someone feels a little left out or has a little less than the other. That's what I see for you there. Hi, Kaylee. How are you? Fair, Craig. Yeah. Um. Okay, this is for Kaylee now. Just looking at past lives, Kaylee, and what we need to let go of from that past life. As it's a full moon this evening, time to let go and release, isn't it? Okay, so you've got the Nine of Wands, Kaylee. The Nine of Wands is all about struggle. It's about taking a temporary pause. It's about overcoming hurdles, okay? Overcoming challenges, being your own best friend. Now, I feel in your past life, things were tough. I'd say things were pretty tough. And the Nine of Wands here indicates that in this life, you may have a kind of, I'm sensing, because this is live and it's not private, sometimes it's hard to say things, isn't it? But it is what it is. And the Nine of Wands is saying that right now, do you have a problem trusting people? Okay, Lee. Do you have a problem with that? Because that's what I'm sensing with this card. And it's like at times you feel you need to do everything by yourself. You can't trust people to help you, support you, or whatever. So I'm sensing this need to look at this issue of trust that you have, because this is the issue you've brought with you from your ancestors or from a previous life. So there is this sort of lack of trust that you now have, that you have carried with you, and there's a pattern of behavior that's linked to that. You see, when we don't trust, it shuts down certain doors or certain things that we want to do because of this lack of trust. So if you can look at this issue and try to work on it, I feel as if you could perhaps get closer to people, or get closer to your dreams. Okay, because you've sort of got these walls around you that this construction that you bought from your ancestry. Okay, that's come with you. Try and knock that down a bit if you can. So that's for Kaylee. So, Grainy, I want to draw a card for you, my love. What do you need to let go of? I'm going to keep going with these till 9 o'clock, and then I'll switch to questions. Yeah, Kaylee, that's pretty much what it's saying, but it's to do with the roller coaster, the troubles that you had in this previous life would have been it would have been a tough life with that Nine of Wands, wouldn't it? As you will know yourself with the Nine of Wands, it would have been a pretty tough call, that previous life of yours. Or maybe this is in connection with, we're going way back. It could be perhaps 9 lives that we're talking about there. Maybe each of those lives, lives have been pretty tough. Your previous 9 lives, if we're looking symbolically at the 9 of Wands. And so the culmination of that is that now you have this inner fear or inner trust issue with regard to people around you, with regard to relying on others, especially. And it's like you are very much your own best friend, which is good to a point, but I'm sensing the need to just relax a little bit if you can, because much of this is from the past. Okay, so this was for Grainy, wasn't it? For Grainy. Okay. Okay, so this is for Grainy. Magician card. Okay, so Grainy. The Magician card. Let's get this focused. Okay, the Magician card. It's not always focusing this camera. I think we're okay. Anyway, the Magician card, if I pull back, it's all about new slates, clean slates, communication. It's ruled by Mercury, Grainy, okay? And as a card with regard to now, what you may have brought over is a need for you to speak up for yourself, I feel. Because a magician is someone who is, they don't hold back. They have the gift of the gab. Now, either you have the gift of the gab, it could go both ways. Either you talk don't take it wrong, Grainy. Either you talk too much or have a nerve, so it could be a touch anxious. Some people talk a lot because they're anxious. Or it could be the opposite, and there is a need for you to speak up more. Okay. Please don't be offended by what I said just now. I'm just saying what I'm reading. So, because this can go either way. So you'll know just you'll know the difference, you'll know what you know yourself. Are you someone who talks too much? Or are you someone who doesn't speak up enough? Ah, and now you talk big time. Right. So that's a bit complicated because it looks like both. So I wonder. I'll leave that one with you, Grainy, to work out, because I wouldn't like to say either way. So I'll leave that one with you. And Jocelyn, this is for you, my love. This is for Jocelyn. Oh, Ace of Pentacles, Jocelyn. This is about finance, new starts, practical new beginnings, okay? Now, you are someone who I feel, first of all, I'm sensing, are you quite impulsive, Jocelyn? Are you an impulsive person? Do you feel as if when you start something new, everything has to happen quickly? Let me know in the comments. So that is for Jocelyn. That I'm sensing what you brought with you from a previous life is this kind of emotionally, yes, though, and yes, I have a million hobbies. Okay, yeah, and what I'm sensing is there's a need for you to let go of this impatience that you have. There's a need for you to look at things with a long-term view. Okay, to realize that, the expression good things come to those who wait is what I'm getting here for you, Jocelyn. Okay, so if you can cultivate patience, I feel that you could really go quite far. You have real potential, but you've got to be patient and focus maybe on one particular area of your life, or one particular talent, one particular skill, one particular venture. So there's a need for focus, but there's a need for patience, and to let go of this impatience that you've, or impulsivity or impatience that you've brought from your previous life. Okay. So Sarah Drinkwater, this is for you. I'm so impatient. I'll try though, because I know you are. Good things come to those who wait. Absolutely. So keep that in your head whenever you feel impatient, Jocelyn. Just remind yourself of that little expression. You're welcome, darling. King of Swords for you, Sarah Drinkwater. The King of Swords relates to air signs. Just trying to focus if you're worrying what I'm doing. There we are. Relates to air signs. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Now, the King of Swords is someone who can be quite harsh, quite very, very logical. And what I'm feeling here for you, Sarah, is, because I don't sense a harshness with you whatsoever, what I'm feeling with you is there is a need for you to allow logic at times. What I want to say is, I feel here, King of Swords being a previous life, that maybe you need to allow your emotions to come into play a bit more when it comes to decisions. Okay. Do you find yourself being quite logical? It's funny, I don't really sense that with you, but the King of Swords is all about logic. So I feel in a past life, you know, it could even be actually, as I'm looking at this, in fact, what I'm seeing here is that in a previous life, then you would have been someone who was in a position of authority, someone who made harsh decisions, even logical decisions. And actually, what I'm getting now is that you may be overcompensating. Yeah, as I tune in, I'm sensing more. It's about you overcompensating, and that in this life, it's your heart constantly ruling your head. Heart constantly ruling your head, and sometimes you may even be afraid of making decisions, which makes sense, doesn't it? If you were in your past life, you made some pretty harsh decisions with regard to people's lives. Maybe you could have even been a judge, a court judge with the King of Swords. It would make sense that now in this life you are overcompensating and not allowing logic to play a part. So it's the other way around. I'm sensing it's more to do with that. So that's Sarah Drinkwater. Craig Spiritual, did I draw you a card? Did I draw Craig a card? I can't remember. Did I draw you a card, Craig? Craig. Did I draw you a card, Craig? Oh, right, yeah. Okay, sometimes the lives all roll into one, and I know, you know, I wonder if I've imagined that I drew you a card. So this is for Kerry Hutton Page. You've got Justice as well. And funny enough, that's now I recall, yes, Craig got this as well. That's right, Sarah Drinkwater, very powerful card. Don't be afraid of making harsh decisions at times, is pretty much in a nutshell what that was. So yeah, so this was for, who was this for? Kerry Hutton Page. You've got the Justice card. And as I said to Craig, this is Justice card is all about fairness, integrity, balance, okay? And that now, you know, you may find yourself obsessed, or not necessarily obsessed, but consumed at times or overwhelmed by this need to be fair. You know, I often suffer with that. So it wouldn't surprise me if this came out for me for my past life. I have two sons, and throughout their whole life, I have constantly worked so hard to keep things balanced. So, and that's what I'm getting here for you, Kerry. This need for fairness, and I also feel, in life in general, same for Craig. Perhaps you are you feel the need to stand up. You and Craig, this is because you both got this card. The need to stand up for um, the underdog. But what you've got to let go of here is the need to be like that all of the time. And I know that's not easy, but sometimes we can overcompensate, and sometimes things just can't possibly be equal. There will always be times when someone will perhaps have a bit less than the other, etc. And you can't please everyone all the time. And sometimes you've got to please yourself. So that's what I'm getting there for you, Kerry. So, Kerry, yeah, obsessed, yes, no, very, okay. Yeah, that's right, Sarah, drink water. But I think the card was, more than anything was saying, don't be afraid of some harsh decisions. At times we are faced with harsh decisions, and some people can find that extremely difficult, and that's what the card was saying. Don't be afraid of that. This is for Anne Douglas. Anne, what do you need to let go of? Good evening, Deborah Smith. The Moon card. Okay, we're talking here. The Moon card now. How poignant this evening with the full moon, and Cancer, the sign of Cancer. You can see the crab here in the water. Well, this Moon card relates to intuition. It relates to mood cycles. It relates to fears, our inner fears. Now, as this is relating to your past life, Anne, you would have experienced a kind of, how can I say, a very intuitive life, first of all, but also one where things could have been a little dark in your previous life, okay? And maybe due to certain things not working out in the way you had hoped in your previous life, and that has left you now with these insecurity issues. There are issues of trust, I feel, in your past life, Anne, and that is manifesting now. So maybe you are. That's absolutely right, Sarah. Now you are kind of unsure or insecure with regard to people, situations. Maybe you pull back, and what the card is urging you to do is to realize that a lot of these trust issues stem from dark situations, I feel, because the moon comes out when it's dark situations from your past life, and that now there's a need for you to kind of whatever insecurities you've carried with you, and it could be insecurities about yourself. It doesn't have to be about other people. If you're insecure about yourself at all, there's a need for you to look at these issues and realize that a lot of it stems from a previous life, where certain issues would have perhaps knocked your self-esteem or something like that. So now there's a need for you to just look at this self-esteem, your self-esteem level now, your confidence level now, and your belief in yourself. Do you believe in yourself enough? If you find yourself doubting yourself a lot, or if you're insecure inside about your worthiness, etc., I'm feeling that stemming from things that have happened your past life, and that's what you need to let go of. So that's for Anne. And now Deborah Smith. And then I'm going to go on to questions. So if you do have a question? Didn't know Patsy was there. Okay, so this is for Deborah Smith. Deborah, you've got the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands relates to fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's just put it up a bit closer. A bit better. Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person, Deborah Smith, this would be you in your past life, okay, Deborah. You were very likely to have been a fire sign, okay? So it may be that you feel that energy now. Do you feel the fire energy at times? Because if you do, this has come with you, and you know it could make you very impulsive at times, very impulsive, and someone who I feel you sort of have ants in your pants at times because of this. So yeah, I'm sensing the fire energy that's kind of come with you into this life that you've brought with you, like a kind of a whoosh of energy that you might find you get from day to day. This will be the fire energy stirring inside you. Um, so the Knight of Wands is in this current life, maybe making you impulsive, maybe making you fiery, maybe making you rush at times. I'm sensing there's a need for you to let go of this need to do that. I'm sensing there's a need for you to slow down. Slow down and take your time. Let go of this need for rush. Let go of this need for taking everything on, taking too much on. Um, that's what I'm sensing here with this Knight of Wands. A need to let go of this impulsiveness that you've carried through, okay, and to just slow down, take your time with things, and be the move into that beautiful Virgo energy of yours, okay. So if you find yourself at times behaving like a fire sign, you'll know why, Deborah. That's where your temper comes from. I didn't like to say about the temper, but yes, I get a whoosh of energy from time to time. Yes, I can't have slowness. Well, this has come from a previous life when you were, I feel, a fire sign. So it makes perfect sense to me. But now there's a need to let go of that overwhelming desire to rush or to do too much and just take a deep breath. So just a quick card here for Patsy then, because I want to go on to the questions, and I'll have to draw a line at the past life cards there, and we're going to questions. So this is for Patsy. Patsy, I'm going to shuffle them again. What does Patsy need to know, please, what with regard to her past life? Okay, Two of Wands. Okay. Now the Two of Wands, as you know, Patsy, relates to decisions, it relates to agreements, and it relates to stepping out into the world, okay? It's a very positive energy. It's a card related to the sign of Aries. It's a very positive energy. Now, in your past life, and if you look at the clothing of this person, I'll say a little bit about your past life, this particular past life that we're looking at here. Remember, we do have many past lives. The Two of Wands, the clothing here indicates you would have been in a very good position financially, my love, okay? But here you are, as you can see, looking out at the top of what appears to be a castle. So, Patsy, I feel you were quite an important person here, but you had some major decisions to make. And also, the Two of Wands indicates a need to step out into the world, all right? But as I said, you sort of seem to be kind of feeling the need here in your past life. I feel I'm sensing your past life shows that you were kind of it's how can I say, a homebod, someone who was safe within your castle, safe within your boundaries, you know. Um, maybe you had a drawbridge, but you were very, very important. And perhaps, you know, at those times, it could be dangerous to go out because people would want to do all sorts to us. So it sort of kept you in your castle, all right, your domain. And now I feel what you've brought with you, Patsy, is the same sort of feeling safe within your castle. Um, there is a saying: the Englishman's home is their castle, and I'm sensing that very much with you, and a need to let go of this kind of feeling that you should stay within that. Okay, so I need to step out a bit more if you can. And I realize you've got your situation going on with your eyes, and I send you lots of love and healing for that. But I feel, you know, whenever you can, try to step out of your home more, to get out more, do more with your life, you know, because I'm sensing this sense of security that you derive from being within your own um, territory. So that's what I'm getting there. Okay. Right. So I hope you've enjoyed those. I will try and do them again, perhaps next full moon, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I won't say for sure till we get there. And I want to see what energy we have as well during the next full moon. So I'm going to look at questions now. And it won't be a second. Okay, so I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Barbara Evans. So, Patsy, thank you. So it makes total sense. Even before my eyes, I never ventured out much, but prefer being at home. I'm a hermit. Yeah, and you could see, you know, the castle walls. As I said, you know, during those times, it was safer to be within the walls of your castle if you had a lot of money. So but you've kind of brought that with you now. And so it's about remembering it's 2020 and you can go out and do all sorts with your life. It's pushing yourself that little bit, really. So there's my link to my tip jar. If you would like a reading, please let me know if you have donated and I will come to you and answer your question. Okay. So Vicky Daly wants to know if she will get back with Ross. Okay. Okay, so the High Priestess. Okay. We've got the High Priestess here. Let's have a look. We've got the Eight of Cups and we've got the Death card. Now, Vicky, I'm going to say to you that, let's just take one more card. Ooh. We've got a new chapter here. We have a new chapter with the Death card, okay? You want this person back in your life very much. It is possible that they could come back, but I'm wondering if you, my dear Vicky, are being realistic about this. Is this really what you truly want? Because I'm sensing you're seeing this previous relationship through rose-colored glasses, Vicky. You know, there's a possible reconnection in the future, but I'm wondering if it's something you truly want. You know, ask yourself, am I seeing this realistically? Am I seeing things with rose-colored glasses? Because that's what I'm picking up here. Yeah, that's right, Vicky. That's right, Craig. And welcome to anyone who's just joined this evening. So justice is your card for the year, IK. I've just caught that comment. Um, looking at the comments now, finding a question. Please let me know if anyone has donated, please, moderators, in case I missed that. So we'll come to those who have donated. Hi, Karina. I'm sure, I thought I said hello to you earlier, but if not, then hello and thank you for joining me. Thanks, Barbara. So, questions. Yeah, see, when I'm reading, I can't read and look at the comments. That's the thing. It's impossible to do. I do try to have a skip through, but there will be some that I miss. But I'm sure if anything is of absolute importance, that hopefully the moderators pick it up, and I know they do. They're a great job at that. So Vicky Campbell, will I reunite with my close friend that lives at a distance again, please, Sarah? That's right, Craig. Okay, will you reunite, wasn't it, Vicky? Let's have a look. Lovely card. Oh, Ace of Cups. Yes, I think you will. Look, off you go there in search of this person. And I feel deep down you know it as well. Happy times ahead. Look at this, 10 of Cups. Happy times ahead, Vicky. Looking very positive indeed. Um, So, Karina, what do you mean? What would you like to know about next week? Can you be a bit more specific? Got a card flown out of here. Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. You're needing to stand your ground next week in some way. Things seem to be happening quite fast. What exactly did you want to know about when you said you're worrying about next week? In what way? Because obviously there will be a lot going on for you next week, as there will be for everyone. So what is it you specifically would like me to answer? That's for Karina. Appears to have disappeared now. But we've got the Eight of Pentacles. We've got I can answer this so much better if you can be more specific. Otherwise, I can only give you a generalized reading, you see. So, well, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. But I was being evicted to go to court, but I know you can't answer. No, I can't answer it, Karina. You see? I can't answer about court issues. I'm glad you're honest with me, because I can't, it's not something that I do, darling. I'm going to draw you an angel card instead. Okay, you've got overcoming difficulty, Karina. Archangel Jeremiah. The worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. So take from that what you will, Karina. Very good card for your question, isn't it? So take from that what you will, but I can't directly answer anything related to the courts. Anything legal, my darling. Sorry, but that was a lovely card, wasn't it? Archangel Jeremiah is with you, helping you to overcome challenges. You're surmounting challenges here with this card. It is happily ever after. It's always full of good energies. That's right. Yeah, they were all positive cards, but I just can't give you the interpretation of them as such because it's legal. Sorry, darling. That's a good way of putting it, Craig. Denise Grove would love to know how I can help home issues improve. Yeah. Okay, 9 of Cups. Denise Grove. How I can help home issues improve. Well, is this to do with you and a partner? Denise, is this you and a partner, my love? Got the King of Wands and the Knight of Swords. There seems to be a tension here at home, a tension, a sort of coldness, a cold vibration around you. This is for... Got to get the name again. Okay, I'm trying to find who it was I was reading for. Can anyone... Okay, it was... Anyway, so we've got the 9 of Cups and we've got the... Me and my daughter so causing issues in the whole family. Well, that's the tension, is it? There's a lot of tension and coldness here that I'm picking up. This is for Denise Grove, yeah. Thanks, Anne Douglas. Yeah, a lot of tension, a lot of coldness here. Um, yeah, thanks everyone. Um, now, what can you do? Let's cut the cards. Okay, there's a need to reach out to someone. A need to reach out. There's a need to be very practical. Remain very grounded about this. Don't allow emotions to get the better of you. But I feel you need to sort of offer someone an olive branch. Reach out in a very practical, grounded way, not in an emotional, upset way. A very grounded, sort of practical way. Offer help in some way. Hold your hand out. Give that olive branch to a certain person, okay? But keep very grounded, keep very practical, keep very real. Don't allow emotions to get the better of you in this situation, and things could calm down. But there is a need to offer an olive branch here. Hi, Luna Crystal. Thank you for joining me. Guppreet, thank you for joining me. And anyone else that's um, joined me this evening, here is the link to my tip jar if you would like your question answered. Hopefully there will be super chat soon. But for the moment, we've got donations through the PayPal me link, which I've just put there. So if you'd like your questions answered. Okay, so Michelle Louise, good evening. If I've missed anyone, please accept my apologies. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with the chat when you're reading, you know. Thank you, Karina. Oh. Wendy Welch, what's ahead in the coming months is probably a bit of a big question, Wendy. But I'll draw you a card for the weekend. The coming months would involve a in-depth reading, and if anyone would like a reading, you can go to my website at www.sarahstarot.co.uk, and you can order a reading from there, or you can come through to my Facebook page, and if you need any advice on what reading to order. Okay, this is for Wendy Welch for the weekend. We've got Ace of Pentacles, lovely cards. So they're urging you to get out of the house, get out of. You appear to be quite down at the moment, which is understandable as I realise what's happened around you. So they're urging you to sort of pull yourself out of this sort of, I'd say, sadness, slumber, or rut, a rut that you kind of have got yourself into. And as I say, it's completely understandable. But there's a need for you to step out now into the world a bit. Go out there into the world. There's a need to sort of start again, is what I'm getting here, my love. And I want to take a card for you from Spirit, actually, Wendy, from your loved one who has just passed. Okay, we all know Wendy came on a while ago before Christmas, and I had a very close relative pass. So this is for you from your relative who has recently passed, Wendy. What do they want you to know? They want you to know that they were met by so many loving people, okay? So that's what your loved one wants you to know. And coupled with these cards, it's time to make a new start. You know, stepping out into the world again, leaving behind this sadness that you've been experiencing, stepping out into the world. Okay, I feel a new beginning is coming in for you. And are you going anywhere nice this weekend, Wendy? Because I feel that's what they're urging you to do, to go somewhere nice. Okay. So, Wendy, I am feeling better, more positive. Meeting my friend tomorrow. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Um, a second. Okay. Oh, you're meeting a friend for coffee. Wonderful. That's good. Okay. So I'll stay on a little bit longer. Here is the link to my tip jar. If anyone would like to make a donation and would like a reading, who else we have here? So Luna Crystal, did you have a question for me? I'm not sure if you did. Luna Crystal. If you're there, Luna Crystal. That's right, Pablo. Yeah, is Mandy D new? That's what I was wondering. Do we have anyone that's new here this evening, Tiger Dragon, other than Mandy D's very tired and sleepy. Are you new, darling? So who was it I was waiting for? There's someone else here that appears to be, yeah, Luna Crystal. I don't know if you're still there. But so Mandy D, did you have a question, my love? Thank you. Sorry? Shaban. Nice glass of water.
Got to stay hydrated.
Oh, I really need that. Thanks, Shubs. So, Mandy D, if you had a question, what would you like to know about your connection with N? And thank you for joining me. So, I hope you'll join me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Thank you, Michelle Barnes, for your donation. I will come to you if you've got a question, my love. Mandy D, should I move on? So, night, Kaylee. So Michelle Bailey Barnes, if you get your question ready, my love. Dry January, yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. Should you move on? Well, you're certainly thinking about it. There's a lot to think through here. There's a need for you to pause and really reflect on what you want, okay? Seven of Pentacles is urging you to sort of to not rush into anything. I feel you want a bit more out of your life. And you're unsure of this, aren't you? And that's what I'm saying, you do need more time to think things through. But I don't feel you're fulfilled. No, this was Mandy, wasn't it? I don't feel you're fulfilled. I feel you want, is it more commitment that you want? I'm sensing you're not, you've not really got what you'd hoped for, and that's what this is showing. You're a little disappointed in the way things have worked out, and I'm sensing that you need more commitment from this person, and you're kind of confused at the moment, though. Things don't appear to. I'm going to take one more card. Things don't appear to be really working out. I'm sensing this may come to an end. Of course, it has to be your decision. But the Magician card indicates a clean slate, a new start, a clean break is possible. That it has to be your decision, but it's I'm seeing that this could possibly come to a close because you're not getting what you need in a a practical sense. You need more commitment. You're sort of unsure. You're never sure of things with this person, and things are sort of up in the air. You need to feel more rooted, more grounded within this relationship, and because of that, I feel things are brewing within it between you, if you know what I mean. So do watch out for things coming to a head. Try to at least keep a cool head on things if you can with regard to this situation, this relationship. But I'm seeing an unbalanced. I'm seeing it being unbalanced between you, if you see what I mean, Mandy. Of course, it has to be your decision. Is Craig going to sleep? That's an unusual one. Are you off, Craig? All right, Craig's just popping out for a moment. Okay. Put the kettle on, Craig. Yeah, thanks, Tiger Dragon. You're always on the ball, aren't you? The moderators are so good. They do such a fantastic job. Okay, so Michelle, can you post your... She has posted her question. Okay. Where? Let's have a look. Okay. Could I ask whether my daughter will sort out her course relationship? I worry so much about her at uni in England. Oh, okay. So it's her course and her relationship that's suffering, is it? And of course, one affects the other, doesn't it? They are wonderful, our moderators, aren't they? They do a fantastic job. Couldn't ask for more. Feel very blessed to have them. Craig, if you're still there, sweet dreams if we don't see you later, my love. Okay, so this is for Michelle. Michelle, if you're still there, my love, you will be, sorry. Michelle, if you can type in the comments, Three of Cups. Well, she's doing she appears to be doing a fair bit of partying, which is no surprise at uni. We've got the Six of Cups and the Tower. Things don't appear to be... It's like a repeating pattern here. I'm picking up, Michelle. Please let me know in the comments, my love. I'll wait for your comment. But there's a repeating pattern here. I don't believe this is the first time she's struggled in this way. Oh, she seems so confused. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure here on her with regard to the course. Let's take some more cards. And thank you for your donation, Michelle. The Magician card. Yes, look, there's a lot of pressure on her. She's very, very intelligent, very talented. Michelle, your daughter, very talented. But she's struggling with the pressure, darling, okay? She's kind of lost motivation at the moment. Has she thought about? She needs, look, she's got the Hierophant at the end of the reading. I've drawn 10 cards, which is the Celtic cross that I'm doing in my head. And there's a meaning attached to each of the cards. So here, Michelle, we've got the Hierophant. We're talking about institutions, colleges, universities, that kind of thing. Yeah, I feel that she needs to go and she needs to be honest about this pressure. She needs to seek good advice. Good advice either from a school principal, college principal, college lecturer. They have services at uni. She, I feel, appears under pressure. That's what I'm getting here. She seems to have a lot on her plate, but she's also doing a lot of partying. I'm sensing a lot of partying. What I'm getting here is a need to really knuckle down with things and get some extra help or support from the uni, because that's what the Hierophant is saying. Is she fed up with it? Because she's got the Four of Cups. I'm sensing she's fed up in some way with this course. And I'm wondering, is she in the right course? Which year is she in, Michelle? Because she seems pretty fed up. It's like she's lost motivation. See, we can struggle in different ways. Sometimes we can struggle because things just are too much, but other times we're just struggling because it doesn't fit with us. This is not, somehow it's not fitting. She's lost motivation. That's what I'm getting here. But the Hierophant is all about, lecturers, university, colleges, getting some practical help, getting a mentor, getting some good sound advice at the uni. I feel she needs to reach out to the uni, that they will help her, student support, that kind of thing. Knight of Wands. And sometimes, does she make impulsive decisions, Michelle? She needs to make sure she gets good advice before she makes any decisions, because I'm feeling at times she's thinking about whether this is for her. Just waiting for your comments. Has she said to you that maybe it's not the right course for her, or that she doesn't want to do it anymore? Because I feel she's physically quite tired as well. I do feel she's physically quite tired. There's something she needs to cut down on. She's doing too much. It's like she needs to let go of something so that she can focus more on this course. She's burning the midnight oil. She's burning the candle at both ends, is what I'm getting here. And so, see your comments. She's working but doesn't like her course, year one. Worried she needs boyfriend support. Oh, right, yeah. So there you are. Yeah, I'm wondering if she's in year one, so she very likely, and don't quote me, she could very likely change her course. I feel she needs to get some. Where are we? January. So she's only halfway through year one. She needs to get some good advice very quickly, because if she feels she's on the wrong course, because I'm sensing she's losing interest here, with that Four of Cups. So she needs to get some good, solid advice for this. Perhaps change. She wants to change course. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling, rather. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. But she needs to act quickly, Michelle, okay? She really does. Get on to her this weekend. Get her to speak up about it, because you can change course in year one. Well, you used to be able to. When I went to university, you could change courses in year one. Whether it's the same now, I couldn't tell you, but hopefully it is. So she needs to get on and do that pretty quickly. Sort that out. So get on to her if you can, Michelle. Okay, so I'm now going to finish this evening with a card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And it's a card I've specifically chosen, which I posted on my page earlier, the Wolf Moon, which it is tonight. It's the full moon, the full wolf moon lunar eclipse. And so I'm going to read a message from the book for that. Just a short message for us this evening. So, card 29. Okay, card 29. Okay. Feel the good and hope within you. There will always be a lean part of the cycle. Prosperity will come. Do not let your hunger blindly dictate your actions entirely. We must be careful about what we nourish and feel within us. If we give abundance to the aspects of the self that can harm others and ourselves, then we cannot truly thrive. Having no limitations upon these behaviors and patterns hurts us and starves the higher and finer parts of ourselves that will bring us more happiness. To ripple that happiness to others is part of why we are on the planet as humans. We must also recognize that in life, just because it is a cycle, there will always be leaner, less abundant, or less bright times. Yet we have built our resilience and self trust for times like this, and we know we are both loved and protected. The cycle will soon turn to less shadow and more bounty. And your affirmation is, I recognize all that I hunger for. Okay, so that's your message from the full wolf moon oracle card for this evening. I'll leave you with that, and I'll say good night, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I will be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone, and sweet dreams. And thanks to my moderators once again.